The younger sister, who knows where he would be. Okay, I'm going to start with a little story. 28 years ago today, I had waited long enough for my nephew to be born. Before cell phones were in every pocket, I called the labor and delivery ward at the hospital almost every hour. Fed up, I got in my car, drove to the hospital, told a little fib about being the Lamaze coach, and surprise, Aunt Denise was there to witness Xavier's birth. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Today I want to remember his precious birth by wishing Xavier a heavenly, happy 28th birthday. Our family is so pleased that you have decided to celebrate this honor with us. Thank you to the distinguished guests who are here with us this afternoon. Thank goodness the Ravens play tomorrow. Xavier would be pleased to see so many of his friends and family gathered here. My brother Daryl and I started this process a little over a year ago, but then a certain pandemic made its way into our plans. What seemed like a disappointment that we couldn't have this dedication in the spring makes today, Xavier's birthday, even more special. What better way to honor our fallen hero than to be reminded of his selfless dedication to his country and the U.S. Navy that he loved so much. The signs have been installed on I-95 and are being uncovered today, maybe as we speak. The road commemoration can be seen in the median strip as you travel both north and south here in the county where Xavier grew up. We do not take this honor lightly and will cherish the distinction for many years to come. Today, we honor Xavier's spirit, his birthday, and the ideals in which he lived. On behalf of our parents in Detroit, who couldn't be here, and our local family seated today, we would like to thank you for sharing in our joy and welcome you into our ever-growing family. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocky turret glare, the bumps bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome, friends, family, and honored guests. We are so pleased that you could join us on a special occasion. At this time, we would like to acknowledge and introduce our guests who are seated here today. Please hold all applause until each person has been introduced. Mr. Shannon Flash Hume, President. Captain Audra Ride for the Fallen Veterans Charity. Commander Bryce Benson, U.S. Navy retired. Mrs. Megan Young, Office of the Community Engagement. On behalf of the Baltimore County Executive's Office, the Honorable Clarence Lamb, Maryland State Senator, the Honorable Jessica Feldman, Maryland State Delegate, the Honorable Eric Ebersole, Maryland State Delegate, the Honorable Patrick Young, Maryland State Delegate, Mr. Ken Martin, Director, USA Cheerleaders, and Mr. Sam Lynch, Xavier's godfather, and Delegate Terry Hill. We are pleased to introduce the Chosen Sons Motorcycle Club and thank them for their assistance with traffic control. At the bottom of your program is a list of additional people we would like to recognize for their assistance in making this day a possibility. At the conclusion of the program, please join us for light refreshments provided by Mission Barbecue in Columbia, Maryland. My name is Tracy Hirsch, a proud member of the USA Cheerleaders. Thank you. I would now like to turn the mic over to Mr. Shannon Hume for remarks.
Just removing my mask so you can hear me a little easier. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, good afternoon, and thank you for coming to this dedication. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Petty Officer First Class Xavier Martin. And first, I really want to acknowledge Denise and Daryl, truly amazing and wonderful people that 3 years ago we were lucky enough to have come into our lives. And it's been a wonderful journey together and working together in a great many things. And I'm going to outline some of those things that we've been able to do. Albert Pike once said, "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us, and what we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal." And today we honor a man that has given to others even a very short and abbreviated life. I have the dual honor of representing Captain John Odber Ride for the Fallen, honoring Maryland's fallen. We were lucky to be partnered with Fidos for Freedom, which provides service and mobility dogs for civilian and veterans that want to have that mobility independence. We also partnered with Wreaths Across America at Ivy Hill and Disabled American Veterans, the service van program, and specifically out of Bowie, Maryland. The catchphrase we like to use is local people, local money, doing local good for our veterans so that we can never forget their service and what they gave to us in their pattern of honorable service. We are fully committed to veterans and their families should that veteran pass. I also have the added distinction of being family, and I'll explain how that is because I'm sure some of you are wondering how that could possibly be. Xavier and I took very different paths to arrive at the same place in late June 2017. I was a ground combat Army officer from rural Virginia. He was an enlisted sailor from the Maryland suburbs. But on that day, we were side by side, him coming home, and me and my cohorts charged with getting him home. What we were joined, however, was by love of country, love and support of family, and the oath we took upon entry into service to our country. The oath of enlistment goes far back as June 14, 1775, when the Continental Congress created the first oath for enlistment in the Continental Army. The oath was revised in 1776, again in 1789, and in 1960 for the final time. So the oath that we take now is as old as 1960. The federal statute requires that each new enlistee or officer recites an oath of enlistment or commission. And it goes a little something like this. I state your name. It's usually the first mistake that many people make. They say, state your name. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and uniform code of military justice, and the added extra that's often included or can be included, so help me God. The oath is not to a man or a party or group or to anything other than to a document that encapsulates the very freedoms that make us Americans. The idea is that we must protect those freedoms at all costs. As Ronald Reagan once said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And to prevent this, America must have new generations willing to step forward and answer the call. Young people that believe in something greater than self. As was said in Isaiah 6:8, "Here I am, send me." And we honored a young man who said, "Send me." Petty Officer First Class Xavier Martin, 24, Healthrop, Maryland, died on 17 June 2017. These are facts. You can Google them. They are there. They're on walls and in signs. But the facts of his life and his pattern of service are not defined in signs. And I'd like to explain a few things of shared commitment we had together. He served aboard the USS Fitzgerald, a Navy destroyer that collided with a container ship off the coast of Japan. Again, facts. He was one of seven sailors that were killed. He was a 2010 graduate from Lansdowne High School. He's proud to serve the Navy. He was the youngest petty officer on the Fitzgerald. He was a top performer. We received word from Antoinette Williams of the American Red Cross about his arrival at Dover, and we were very honored and eager to escort him home. On 29 June 2017, which oddly enough is actually my parents' anniversary, we started as our way to support the family of Americans fallen, became a multi-year journey of healing, love, respect, and the realization that we individually will never be as great as we collectively. We arrived at Dover and we were told by local law enforcement that they would not block the intersections for us. They did not like our look. The Maryland State Police, however, very quickly stated that they would ensure that we would make it safely. At the time, we were told by the military authorities in the little compound there that we were not welcome to remain on the compound. They also did not like our look. The commander did not feel we fit his program and asked us to just sort of park across the street. And although that we were all veterans, the bikes, beards, leathers belied the honorable service and charitable work that we do. I share this now not to create ill feelings or show lingering anger, but to highlight then, as it is now, is always necessary to worry less about the characterization of one's complexion and more about the constitution of one's character. When we arrived at the funeral home, we were asked by the family to carry Xavier into the building. We hadn't really planned for this. We were doing the escort, but it was something that was asked, and the family's never wrong on that day. Every ask they get, every request is granted. We were honored to do it. We each wrapped our hands around the chrome bars that flanked the casket, and in that moment, Petty Officer First Class Martin became Xavier, respect became love, and hearts became family. As you see, when you carry the remains of a fellow service member and you walk with them in their final steps, it is impossible to feel anything but love. Caring at times, carrying each other are attributes that perhaps our country could use and discover once again. Reads Across America uses a version of the famous Ernest Hemingway quote, "Every man has two deaths, when he is buried in the ground the last time that someone says his name. In some ways, men can be immortal." Ronald Reagan later paraphrased that, adding a third loss, which is the generations that would follow and come from his line. The sign and dedication with Xavier's name ensure that he will be immortal, as millions will see and say his name as they make their way through Maryland. It also becomes a monument to the service and the generations that will follow his example of honorable and good service to the country. On March 23rd, 1775, Patrick Henry God, "I know not what they take, but for me give me liberty or give me death." The fiery words propelled 13 colonies that were once British and now into the United States of America. However, today, with less than 1% of the population serving, today's defenders have said, "For your liberty, I sacrifice all, up to and including death." It's common for some people to dismiss this by saying service members knew the risk when they joined. To that, I would simply retort, we should not take our freedoms for granted. We should not assume that these people are here to do our bidding, and we should endeavor to be Americans worthy of their sacrifice, regardless of known and unknown risks. Further to a life well lived, Shawnee Chief Tecumseh offered, "So live your life, that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others and their view. Demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make sure that your life is long and its purpose is in the service of your people." Xavier's abbreviated life, he did everything else that Chief Tecumseh had said. Xavier Alec Martin, I've said his name. Today he will not die again. His legacy continues. This sign on these bridges stand for the immortality of his beliefs. In closing, in the words of General George Patton, we should thank God that such men lived. God bless and keep the Martin family. God bless each and every single one of you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to have Commander Bryce Benson to take the stage.
Denise, Daryl, thank you again, for inviting me up here. It's always tough to follow a phenomenal speaker and Flash. You're making that ring true right now. Great job, great remarks. Thank you for those. It's also very honoring to follow a fantastic rendition of the national anthem. So, Gia, if we can get another round of applause for her, where are you at? I'm sure that's not the first time you've done that, nor is it going to be the last. But again, thank you for inviting me and my family up here. It's tough. I miss Xavier. But the irony of this event, and while we have been to many dedications, is that this is also a celebration. It's his birthday. And that, as I was reflecting on the certainties in life, one, no young man wants a bridge dedicated in his honor, but also no young man wants his birthday party to have a bunch of people crying. And I think Xavier would most certainly be looking down on us right now and be happy to see us smile. And I would just like to take us back to the moment I first saw Xavier smile. And if you ever wonder what it looks like, and you look at this man, it's the same one. We had just pulled the ship into Guam. It was my first time pulling in there, and if you've ever been on a ship pulling into port, right when you get in, all the lines are across. It just becomes a beehive of activity and work. And I was in my stateroom working on some stuff, and one of the other petty officers came in, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, XO, I'd like to introduce you to Petty Officer Martin." I said, "Who? Who's this Petty Officer Martin? He has orders to the ship." And I turned around and I looked at this young man, tall, strong, excited, the smile on his face. I nearly called the operations officer. I said, "Let's get this ship underway before he can leave." So that was my introduction to Xavier. Months went by and he finally joined us, and his enthusiasm was matched by a level of professionalism and intelligence and wherewithal. I mean, Xavier was, if I had 100 Xaviers, we could have taken over the world. His ability to make not just a positive impact in his scope of responsibilities within his discipline, right? But just, he made everyone else better. Certainly me. I was exchanging some of these stories with Natalie Combs, one of my shipmates who was there that night too. And the work that we did leading up, to the night, of June 17th, all of us, we were a good crew. We were a good ship. And Xavier was part of that. We lost 7 brave men that night. But I think it was through Xavier's efforts that many men and women's lives were saved. For the time period in which that burden started flooding and how people orderly got out, okay, it was part tribute to the training that we did, and Xavier was certainly a part of that. There's a lot of questions, still unresolved, but I know that the reasons why we were there was to make it better. And for whatever happened, it's because of our service and the way we performed our jobs that there may be fewer bridges dedicated to young men and women across America. But this is a birthday celebration, and I am just so thankful, that we're here to honor, to break bread, and to remember a life very well lived. Daryl, thank you so much again for inviting me and asking me to come to speak again.
I'm Megan Young. I'm here to represent County Executive Johnny Olszewski, and I would like to read the citation for Petty Officer First Class Xavier A. Martin. In memory and grateful recognition of his service to our country and his ultimate sacrifice, a loyal and dedicated sailor, friend, and son, Petty Officer Martin's commitment to the United States Navy is being recognized as we dedicate the bridge at Oakmore and Sulphur Road in his memory and in his honor. A life cut too short in 2017, Petty Officer Martin's sacrifice lives on as an inspiration to his family, friends, Baltimore County residents, and the nation. In Petty Officer Martin's honor, on behalf of the residents of Baltimore County, I posthumously recognize the life and acts of kindness and leadership that inspire many and exemplify the community spirit and compassion that keeps our county, our neighborhoods, and our families strong. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Young, for those words of encouragement. Next, I'd like to introduce Ms. Kathy Ingers on behalf of Councilman Tom Quirk's office, Baltimore County Council, District 1.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to come to this event today because Laura and I, months ago, before the pandemic and everything, we wrote a letter also to help get the bridge dedicated. And I want to thank Xavier for his service to our country and his sacrifice. And God bless his family and everyone here.
Thank you, Ms. Ingers. The one thing about these masks, man, if they pull up over your eyes, you're just like blind. Can't see, your glasses fog up. This is a hot mess. Okay, there we go. All right, next I'd like to have the congressional team. I've been told they're a team. They operate as one. They're many feet, but they all operate together. So we're just gonna have the whole team up. And they will be also doing the unveiling of the sign at this time. So those of you with your cameras, we're gonna move the table up and you'll all be able to get a good shot of it. Okay. Senator Clarence Lamb.
So thank you, Denise, and on behalf of our legislative team in District 12, Southwest Baltimore County here, we have myself, Senator Lamb, Delegate Feldmark, and Delegate Eric Ebersol, Delegate Terry Hill. We also are joined by our Delegate Pat Young, who is the Vice Chair of the Maryland Legislative Veterans Caucus. And so we're pleased to be here to support and honor Xavier Martin. And thank you all to all the organizers who helped put this together. Obviously, we want to extend our condolences too in recognition for Xavier's service to our nation and to our community. It's been 3 years, and so years that may seem long when you think about life without the presence of Xavier, but also short when so many emotions come gushing back. And so when this request came to our offices, there was no doubt, there was no hesitation that we wanted to recognize Xavier for his work and efforts and service to our country and community. And I want to thank our staff as well as the County Executive's office and Councilman Tom Quirk's office. I know Kathy and others there had done a lot of hard work to make this happen. And also to thank MDOT and State Highways for their efforts as well. The story, as all of you know, is tragic and heartbreaking. Here was a 24-year-old really just trying to do the right thing in serving his country. And he had done so much as well for his community and for his family, saving up thousands of dollars for retirement, ready and waiting for the opportunity to come home to work on his yellow sports car, waiting at home in the driveway here in Haleport. And here was his single-parent father also trying to do the right thing for his family, for his son, one that comes from a long line of service, who also served in the Navy, was a veteran, And so it's, of course, with this dedication that his father had instilled in him, that he carried on his service to the USS Fitzgerald, and as was mentioned, becoming the petty officer, first class, youngest. We want to, of course, recognize Xavier. He comes from a long line of service in his family, and his father, who was a Navy veteran himself, and so, of course, it's no surprise that he carried on this dedication and level of commitment to his work on the USS Fitzgerald, becoming first class petty officer, the youngest on board the Fitzgerald, really remarkable on its own. And so by all accounts, he was one that was truly dedicated to service, one always willing to help out others, who flashed a quick smile, was always willing to give a hand. And so it's only fitting that we remember him with this recognition. In Annapolis, we have bills named Hometown Heroes, but those are just really pieces of legislation. And so, we have real hometown heroes, and oftentimes we miss and forget about them. But this is certainly one occasion that we don't want to do that, because Xavier has given so much to his country and also to the community. These are individuals who do their jobs quietly, not for fame or fortune, but because of service to their community and to the nation. And so it's only fitting that we recognize him in this way on his birthday. And so I want to present a citation from the Maryland General Assembly. This resolution is resolution number 579. Be it hereby known to all that sincerest sympathy is extended to the family of Petty Officer First Class Xavier Martin, and the entire membership of the Maryland General Assembly offers its respectful condolences and directs this resolution be presented on this 27th day of September on Xavier's birthday, signed by the President of the Senate, Bill Ferguson, Speaker of the House, Adrian Jones, and our entire delegation here from Southwest Baltimore County, Delegate Feldmark, Delegate Young, Delegate Ebersol, Delegate Hill, to the Martin family. And thank you again, and condolences, and thank you for the opportunity to be here.
I really hadn't planned on speaking today. I was telling my mom earlier today that even though this is joyous, but by being his birthday, it's a road that I have to walk alone in certain cases, because I miss him so much. I've sat here and I've listened to everyone, saw what they saw in him. And Bryce, he was definitely so excited when he was in Guam. He had decided to go aboard the Fitzgerald. It's unbelievable. Thank everyone. As I've told many of you guys here, that each and every one of you are part of this journey. I don't know where it ends. It's just, and I know he's down looking. I mean, the relationship that him and I have, and still do have, because I still text him. He's part of my journey and journal. He's looking down now, saying, "All right, Dad, enough. Okay, you have done. You've done my car, you've done this, you've done that, okay, enough." And for him to know me, he'll know that it never will ever be enough. I want everyone to know who he is, all seven, as a matter of fact, because they weren't just nuts and bolts on the ship. Each one has a name. Each one has a pyramid of family and friends that has been devastated. So, again, thank you all.
And come on over to the table and unveil. I call them the team. From now on, you will be known as the team. Not to be confused with my team, but the team. Thank you so much. And we'll make sure everyone gets pictures up here with the sign. And as I stated earlier, it is being uncovered probably as we speak. They said they were trying to coordinate it with 1 o'clock. So hopefully when you all leave and you go on 95, you can actually see the sign. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the USA cheerleaders. They will be speaking and also doing a presentation.
Ago, we applied for a plaque to have the Tovahala project under Xavier. We didn't know it was approved until a few weeks ago. When we received the call that they were honoring Xavier with a plaque, the following is a letter to the family from the Tovahala project's founder, Corey.
Before I read the letter, I just want to hold up the plaque because it's pretty amazing. Okay, so this is the letter, and the family's going to get it, but I do want to read it so everybody can hear. The title is Where Heroes Live On Forever. To the family of Petty Officer First Class Xavier A. Martin, dealing with loss is never easy, and it rarely ever seems real. I know it's hard to believe, but something can always be brought to light in a difficult and devastating time like this. In this case, the light is Petty Officer First Class Xavier Martin being a true hero. And we now have the rest of our lives to make his legacy known to the world. As time goes on, from day to decade, you might begin to believe that you are the only one still thinking of Petty Officer First Class Martin, but you're surely not. For as long as there is breath in our lungs, we are always thinking of him. While we are unable to take away the pain, we hope that what we do for you here today instills peace of mind. We are here, we are family, from our heart to yours. We bestow upon you this handcrafted memorial made by the veterans, patriots, Gold Star families of Tovahala Project and funded by true Americans, and their work will give back. Sincerely, Corey.
Sorry, everybody. Over 17 years ago, we started the USA Cheerleaders, and we had no idea being a part of this organization would change our lives in such a drastic way. We grew from one team in the organization with divisions of the USA Cheerleaders in Maryland, New York City, Dallas, and Florida. Our mission also grew from supporting our military. We grew to serve our first responders, children's and military charities, and all communities we serve and beyond. When we heard about the news of Xavier, our executive director and founder, Ken, who is friends with Denise, knew we had to do something for the family. When we got the news of the bridge dedication, we set in motion to present the family with a gift from the USA Cheerleaders organization. This gift is to let you know that Xavier is honored, celebrated, and will never be forgotten. Thank you.
I've been telling Daryl all week that this was a celebration. This is a true celebration, and to celebrate the life, and we were gonna have cake, so it had to be a celebration, and it had to be lots of laughter and lots of family and lots of friends, and I just hope that we have accomplished that, and that it's a celebration of life. Not necessarily. I know it's a sad time. We wish Xavier was here, but we're going to celebrate his life in his absence. And with that, I would like to bring up his godfather, Mr. Sam Lynch.
Before I say a few words on behalf of the family, if you would respectfully bow your heads so we can recognize those fallen sailors and airmen and soldiers, Marines, Coast Guard. Thank you. Daryl and I guess we've been knowing each other since 1984. We both served at the National Security Agency for several years. And later on, I guess in the early 90s when he got married, and they decided to have a baby, he came to me and asked me if I would be Xavier's godfather. And of course, without hesitation, I accepted the recognition. And certainly, when Xavier was born, you can just see the light, the brightness, the lucid, facial expression that he had. And it was a true pleasure for me to be his godfather. And later on, after Xavier joined the Navy, and Daryl told me that Xavier wanted to follow in my footsteps because I retired as a warrant officer, and Xavier wanted to be a warrant officer just like me. Yeah, that made me very proud. But I told Xavier he had more in him than being a warrant officer. He could be a captain, admiral. I mean, the sky's unlimited for him. And he just excelled so fast in the Navy, despite some of the challenges, going through some of the duty stations that he had that you guys are not aware of. And but he surpassed all of that, and really was on track to really accomplish so much more. And last time I saw Xavier was August of 2016, before he headed overseas, and we had a barbecue at my house, and playing basketball, had a cookout. And there was not a day that I don't look at Xavier's picture on my wall and say hi to him, and really thank him for everything he's done and what he's done to so many other people he's touched along the way there and all. And I just want to say happy birthday, brother. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
This concludes our program, and I would invite you to come up, look at the accolades that Daryl has received and that in Xavier's name. Also, we have refreshments provided by Mission Barbecue, and there's birthday cake. Yay! I know my grandkids have been waiting on birthday cake, and also Mr. and Mrs. Young. I'm sending cake home to the kids. I don't know how many kids you have or what their ages are, but the fact that we have both mom and dad here, I'm sending cake home to the kids. So thank you all so very much for being here and to serving with us. Once again, thank you to my brothers on the motorcycles. One day they're gonna show me how to ride. Yes, Would you like to sing happy birthday? Okay, I shouldn't be singing anything. Okay. Okay, everybody can join me in singing happy birthday. Daryl, come on up. Since I can crash a birth, at least I can do is sing happy birthday, right? Okay. Asia? Y'all don't be looking all like what? Come on, girl. Come on up here and lead us in happy birthday. She thought she was gonna get away with one song and that's it. Girl, come on. You'll figure out. I'm gonna put you on the spot every time. Okay, so you start with happy and I'll follow up with birthday, okay?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday